Hi there, this is Hand Stamp by Cheryl. Wanted to share a quick video on how to clean your stamps. So if you are doing any stamping with ink, you will find that you will need a way to clean them once you are done stamping. So we are going to talk about 3 different ways. The most cheapest way, I guess, might be to use baby wipes. So you might have some laying around your house, or if you're like me, you're past the baby stage, so you might not. But you can get these like at the dollar store. And so this is a quick and easy way to use something that you have around the house to clean your stamps. So you just want to make sure you get it into the crevices so that you're getting all of the ink out before you switch to a different color. Now, the downside to using something like this is people usually just throw it up here and forget about it, and then it might touch some paper or a project that you're working on, and the moisture from a baby wipe can ruin a project. So you want to be really careful where you place this when you're finished. The next option would be to use what Stampin' Up! Has called a Stampin' Scrub. And these are compact and great for traveling. When you open them, there are 2 sides. One's going to be dry and one's going to be wet. And in the corner, you can actually see icons. This is the sun, and these are raindrops. Now, these icons are sort of hard to see. So when I teach card classes, I have a tiny window over in the corner of my basement. And so I tell everyone, wet to the window. So this is the wet side, which means since my window is that direction, I'm going to place it like this. So people don't need to think about which side is wet or dry. They just know that wet is to the window. So that would be wet. And then you would use Stampin' Mist. This is the size that we currently sell. It's 8 fluid ounces, and it's just got a nice scent to it, if you ask me. I'm not sure what's in there. But you would then go about your stamping, and then when you're finished, you'd come over and you'd rub it on the wet, look to make sure it looks like I got it good, and then you come over here to dry it, and then it's ready to stamp again. Okay? Every month or so, I remove these pads. That you can just pull them up over here in the section that has the little icons, and you can remove these pads. It's a little tricky because they've got something holding them in place. So once you remove them, you can just run these under warm water. I don't put any soap to it or anything. I just run it under warm water until all the ink comes out, and then I set it outside on my picnic table to dry, sometimes overnight. So this is called the Stampin' Scrub using Stampin' Mist. Okay, and then the third option is something that we have called a chamois. Similar to some automotive chamois that you might use to wash your car. This is meant for crafting, and when you get it, it arrives in this package and it looks like this. It's a bright, pretty purple, and I'll just warn you, it's not going to look like this for long. Now, this one is brand new, and I keep mine in a Stampin' case. So we sell our clear mount stamp cases in a pack of 4, and so I use one of these to sort of store it in there. What I like about a chamois is it's less expensive and you don't need a mist. So you're just using water. And once you get it wet, it will stay wet for a while. You just don't, I don't know, mine doesn't actually even close. This might be a broken case, which is fine because you don't really want it to be in there where it might develop mold. Now, I haven't had that happen before, but I have heard people that have. So you want to just sort of leave it propped open, but it'll still stay moist so that when you're ready to work on something, you can just rub it clean with this, okay? So this is what mine looks like now. So it's going to change colors, and that's fine. It looks gross and it feels a little weird, but you'll get used to it. But I really think it's a great option for cleaning your stamps off because it's easier to sort of maneuver into the crevices, especially if you're using the Stamparatus, our stamp positioning tool. Then you can just go like this and rub the plate rather than have to take the plate off and sort of get it inside the Stampin' Scrub. Okay, now one idea that I've had, so I have this size, but I have thought that it might be better to have a smaller size. And so I think, this is my brand new one that I just bought, I think I'm going to cut mine. So we'll see how this goes, but I thought it might just be better to have a smaller size. And if you're probably more particular, you might measure and use a X-Acto knife or something. But I'm just going to cut mine. And then I just think this size might be a little bit easier to manipulate. Or who knows, maybe even going smaller. I'm going to do this one smaller and see what I think. Okay, so then if you're cleaning your stamp, you're just rubbing it off like this. All right, so those are your 3 options: baby whites, chamois, and the Stampin' Scrub. Thanks for watching and happy crafting.